Hello everyone and welcome to Workout with Mia. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the biggest mistakes I made when starting my fitness journey. When I first started getting into the health and fitness world, I was watching a bunch of videos on YouTube. What to do, what not to do, and unfortunately I came across some really toxic videos that really did some harm to me. And that leads me to the first mistake. Don't listen to everything you hear online, especially on TikTok or some random YouTuber. Not me. Listen to me, but no, I'm just kidding. But you guys get my point. Just because someone gives advice that may work for them, it may not work for you. And their advice may be really unhealthy and toxic, and they don't realize it. Like, I started watching a lot of videos about like what to eat, what not to eat, and I was watching a lot of videos with people that have disordered eating, and it wasn't healthy because I thought, oh my gosh, they're eating this, I should be eating that too. I should be eating what they're eating if I want to look like that. Every body works differently and every body reacts a different way to a certain food. Like, some people can eat like 5,000 calories a day, but they work out super hard, they train super hard, and if they're comparing themselves to an influencer doing a what I eat in a day and they're eating like 1,000 calories, like, that's not healthy for them to then eat 1,000 calories. Like, they need a lot of calories if you're a weightlifter, if you're an athlete, if you're very active. And I was very active, but I was watching all these people and their bad advice. And so that's my first tip, is to just not listen to everything you hear online. Number 2, working out for the wrong reasons. This is a big one that I'm still struggling with and that I'm trying to grow in. When working out, it's really important to have the right goal in mind. If your goal is to become, like, to be the skinniest person in the room or to look like your favorite fitness influencer, you're never gonna achieve your goal.
And if you become too obsessed with how you physically look, there is a high probability that you will develop body dysmorphia. And trust me, you don't want to develop that. It sucks. So even if you do end up getting your dream body, you're never going to appreciate it, and you're never going to be happy with all the work you've put in. And you're always going to be comparing yourself to someone else. There's always going to be somebody that you think looks better than you, so you're never going to be satisfied.
Every body functions at different weights differently. Like, I lost my period because I was working out, not eating enough. If you just looked at me, you'd be like, oh, she looks healthy. Like, you wouldn't never know. And someone else at my exact height and weight, they could be at my same height and weight and still have their period and still be healthy. But me, for my body type, I was at an unhealthy weight for my genetics. And just because someone has the same height and weight as you, that doesn't mean your body works the same way. So that leads me to number 3. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're never gonna be happy and you're never gonna get your goal, because every single person has a different body type, and no one's gonna have the exact same body type as you. And even if they do, different things will work for them that won't work for you. You need to find what works best for you personally, and stop doing all these fad diets and workout plans. And all these people are just trying to sell you something to make a profit off you. They're not trying to help you. And yeah, maybe they are genuine and it does work for them, but it doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. So set a healthy goal. Don't have your goal to be to lose this many pounds, because honestly, pounds don't matter. This is the same person at the same weight. Their body looks completely different, but muscle weighs much more than fat. And stop determining your progress based on the number on the scale. Because if you're lifting weights, you're gonna gain muscle and you're gonna look even leaner. So when you see the number go up on the scale, a lot of times it can be scary and you're like, oh, I should probably start eating less. And that's how disordered eating comes along. And if you don't know, I developed anorexia nervosa, and I still struggle with eating problems. And once I finally acknowledged that, I can finally start working on it, because the worst place you can be in is in complete denial. If you keep denying that you don't have a problem with eating and you don't have bad habits with eating, then you're never gonna get better, because that's what I kept doing. But now that I'm acknowledging, yes, I don't have a healthy relationship with food, So I'm working on it. And the eating disorder didn't just happen overnight. It's not just like I woke up one day and had an eating disorder. It develops over time. It starts with an unhealthy relationship with food and disordered eating. And once you start that unhealthy relationship with food, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it spirals, and then you have a full-blown eating disorder. So I'm going to share with you guys some signs that you have an unhealthy relationship with food and that you are on the track to maybe an eating disorder, or that you may already have one. Number one, when you're really hungry, but restrict your food and don't eat in fear of gaining weight. You restrict calories, you restrict food groups, and you're just very, very controlling about what you eat, and you can only eat certain foods and certain things in fear of gaining weight. And then if you do overeat, or you do something that's out of your comfort zone, to compensate, you either try to throw up, you do an extra workout, you try to burn it all off, you take a laxative, you restrict your next meal. You say, oh my gosh, I ate too much now, so I'm not gonna eat later, or I'm not gonna eat at all tomorrow because I ate too much. And then a binge and restrict cycle happens, and that is the most toxic thing ever, binge restrict cycle. Recently, I got caught back up in that, and I am stepping away from it. I'm not doing that. It's so toxic. Basically, the binge restrict cycle is that, one, you're scared of gaining weight. You don't wanna gain weight, so you restrict your food. But then you're starving yourself, and you become so hungry. So then you eat so much one day, and then you feel guilty, and then you purge, or you over-exercise, and then don't eat the next day, and you restrict. But then you become so hungry again because you've been restricting food and not eating, then you eat again and again and again, and that just keeps happening again and again, and it's a big cycle, and it causes a lot of mental problems, and it just makes you flat out depressed, and it is not worth it. So if you are starting any of these habits, please stop. Remember, overeating one meal won't make a difference in your weight. And if you gain weight the next day, it's not because you gained fat, it's water weight. And just don't weigh yourself the next day after overeating. You may think, oh my gosh, I gained 6 pounds, I gained 6 pounds of fat. No, it's water weight. It is impossible biologically to gain that much weight the next day. It's water weight. But you probably don't know that, so you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I gained so much weight, so I'm gonna stop eating, and blah, blah. It's just a really bad habit, and disordered eating is a very toxic rabbit hole.
I can't believe I forgot to say this, but it was pretty much implied, but a huge mistake I made is not eating enough. You need food for fuel. You need it to be able to gain muscle. If you're not eating enough, your body's going to start eating away at your muscles, so you're not going to gain any muscle, and you may fall into the binge restrict cycle. You're going to be tired all the time. You're going to be cranky, cold, and there's just so many terrible things that happens when you don't eat enough, especially if you're working out.
And I've been through a lot when it comes to my eating disorder. I've been through heck. But I believe I went through this for a reason, and I believe that God gave me this platform so I could help others not go through the same thing that I went through, and help others that are going through the same thing that I went through to help them in their life, to help you guys get over it. I've tried everything in recovery for my eating disorder. I tried going to special therapists, dietitians, nutritionists. They told me all these things, but the only thing that saved me from my eating disorder is my relationship with Jesus Christ, and realizing that my eating disorder is selfish, that I'm too consumed in myself and my body and what I look like, and that it's unhealthy. And why am I spending all my time here on this earth worrying about myself? Because our life here on this earth is only a test. What do you choose? Do you choose to align yourself with Jesus? Do you choose to serve him and bring others to him? Or do you choose the selfish route and be only consumed in yourself, money, fame, power, or earthly desires? And that's what I was doing. So once I realized that, and once I gave my life to Christ, I realized that I can't live like that anymore. And I'm now living for Christ. I surrendered my eating disorder to him. I surrendered my whole life to him. And he's sustaining me. And And if you do that too, I guarantee that will happen for you as well. Number 4, only doing cardio. And if you want to have muscles and you want to be strong, you want to be able to do a bunch of push-ups, you want to be able to do pull-ups, you want to be able to look like a fit person, stop just doing cardio. You need to lift weights. And when lifting weights, it's actually fun. I love going to the gym and lifting. And the only reason I was doing cardio was because of, again, fear of gaining weight, or I wanted to lose weight and become skinnier. But cardio is not gonna give you your dream body. Do it for your heart, because your heart is the most important muscle in the body. That's what keeps you alive. And doing cardio strengthens your heart. And so once you do cardio from that perspective, it really helps change your relationship to working out. It's better to do less weight with really good form, because if you have bad form, it's gonna lead to injury and you're just not gonna grow your muscles. Please comment down below video suggestions you wanna see for next week. If you like this channel and you wanna see my next video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications, because this is a new channel, so it can be really hard to find my videos sometimes, especially with my other channel already existing. So please turn on subscribe and notifications. That will help me so much in just being able to put out and make these videos. So please do that. It would really mean the world to me, and I would really appreciate it. Anyways, I will see you all next week. May God bless you all. I love you guys so much. Okay, bye.